Welcome to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional broadcast of Grace Gospel Church. We are looking at Philippians chapter 1, and I want to highlight again verse 20, the latter part. Now, as always, Christ will be exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. The best advertisement for the gospel is our life. So the witness of my life is critically important. People are watching us. People in our home, at our workplace, in our community, our relatives, they are closely watching us to see whether we reflect the beauty of the Lord Jesus Christ by our life. That wherever we go, we leave the sweet fragrance of the Lord Jesus Christ behind. And that's a challenge because we are human and we fail, we falter, we sin, and we need to pray that God will give us grace to be able to have a consistent witness for Him. And Paul says in verse 20, whether by life or by death. And even in our death, to be able to exalt and magnify the person of the Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, Paul eventually would be beheaded. He died a martyr's death, but his influence continues to live on 2,000 years later. Isn't that amazing? So, even when you and I die, our influence can live on in the lives of people, in the beautiful testimony of our life, perhaps in the journals that we have written, and maybe the songs that you have sung and recorded, sermons that I have spoken and recorded. Our influence can live on. And I want to encourage you to live in such a way that even long after your death, that the influence of the Lord Jesus Christ will linger through your life and my life. Now we come to verse 21, Philippians 1:21. And Paul says, "For to me, to live is Christ, and to die is gain." Now, there are four things I want to highlight about the Apostle Paul. And these are 4 P words, and you may do well to write it down. Paul was hopelessly addicted to the presence of Christ. Secondly, Paul was desperately dependent upon the power of Christ. Thirdly, Paul was utterly abandoned to the program of Christ. And fourthly, Paul was passionately zealous for the person of Christ. Now that should describe your life and my life. Addicted to the presence of Christ, dependent upon the power of Christ, abandoned to the program of Christ, and passionate for the person of Christ. 30 years after his conversion, the apostle testifies, "For me to live Christ." Now, can that be said of you and me? When we first came to encounter the Lord Jesus Christ, and how he became so precious to us, and how he began to transform and change our lives, can we say today that we have the same passion for the person of Christ, and that we are totally abandoned to the program of Christ, and day by day we are dependent upon the power of Christ to live a victorious life, and that we are addicted to the presence of the Lord Jesus Christ. Paul's entire life was summed up in one word, Christ. And I trust that that could be said about you and me, that our whole life is summed up in one word, the Lord Jesus Christ.
For more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Grace Gospel English Church Toronto. Thank you.